1980, the Philadelphia 76ers lost the NBA World Championship to the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that was led by rookie sensation Magic Johnson. For 6 years since Julius Erving joined the Sixers, they've been the winningest team in the NBA. Yet, despite an outstanding record, they've been frustrated in their efforts to win a title. Last year, the Lakers also experienced frustration as hopes for a new basketball empire quickly disappeared when they were eliminated early in the 1981 playoffs. This year, both teams are in it again, and this year, they both have something to prove. It's early yet. There's at least 1 hour before tonight's opening tap. But already, there's something in the air. What is it? The ushers can feel it. Fans arrive earlier. Players are more meditative and careful in their pregame routine. The coaches' preparations are even more studied. No detail can be forgotten. There is a tangible mounting tension and anticipation in the press room. What is it? Every sight, every sound, every gesture has a special significance. But why is this night different? Because it really is special. These are the NBA playoffs.
Oh, that's all they had to say then. I didn't know who you was.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the world's most beautiful sports theater, the Fabulous Forum in Inglewood, California, another capacity crowd, 17,505 to see the fourth game of the 1982 battle for the supremacy of professional basketball, the championship of the world, the NBA crown.
We thank you for not smoking.
If they don't win this game, they ain't going to win Sunday. They're going to lose the series.
Comes here Saturday and Sunday, June 26 and 27. It's the U.S. Summer Nationals Hot Rod Truck Bowl.
No, I like Jake.
Jake's all right, but fucking the other guy.
No, but Robert Parrish hit me on top. Well, I think he busted a bone on me. Kareem, how are you?
It all comes down to this. What every player, coach, and hometown fan hopes for every season. A shot at the NBA World Championship. Tonight in Philadelphia and around the country, fans will witness the rematch of two teams which are essentially the same as when they battled for the 1980 title. And for that reason, it really is a showcase for the league. In a game where few teams remain together for long, Philadelphia and Los Angeles are good examples of the success which patience and confidence can bring. This championship series attests that the rapidly changing business of basketball has not destroyed the old rivalries, the old loyalties, and the NBA's great tradition. Tradition. No place represents that tradition better than the banner-draped rafters of Boston Garden. No team ever dominated a sport the way the old Celtics dominated basketball. In fact, no team has repeated as champions since the '69 Celtics. These men are the keepers of that legacy, and some believe the second coming of that dynasty.
Damn, Danny. What happened, man?
As current defending champions, they have an ideal collection of seasoned veterans and eager youth. And like their predecessors, they have a unifying camaraderie, brilliant leadership, and an unshakable confidence that they can repeat as champions.
The miracle finish for the Bullets last Wednesday at the Garden. They need some more magic tonight as they return to Boston facing elimination.
Robert Parrish has helped Boston to a 3-1 series lead over Washington. In fact, the Celtics may be looking a little past tonight's game to their expected rematch with Philly in the Eastern Conference Final. Even if the Celtics are looking past tonight's game with the Bullets, this phantom figure, Spencer Haywood, is not. In fact, tonight represents a personal comeback for Haywood. To rid himself of a bad rap, Haywood, once accorded superstar status, was forced to play last season in Italy. His contribution to the Bullets' success this season has been a vindication of his talents.
Let me get out of here. Okay, good luck, y'all, man.
What was Spencer just doing over here?
I don't know. I thought he had some kind of voodoo thing. He was shaking in both their lockers.
It wasn't voodoo, but it was some tough defense and rebounding that kept Washington in this game. Rookie guard Frank Johnson, whose last-second three-pointer won Game 2 and gave Celtics coach Bill Fitch nightmares, sparks a dramatic comeback with some more spectacular outside shooting that leaves the Boston fans shaking their heads in disbelief. With time running out, standout rookie Jeff Ruland is fouled. His free throws send the game into overtime and leave Fitch wondering just what he has to do to beat these upstarts. Coach of the Year Gene Shue has made the most of this group of rookies, no-names, and unheralded veterans. No one gave them a chance of making the playoffs, much less defeating the defending world champions. But in OT, it takes some luck and some last-second heroics from Kevin McHale to salvage a tie and send the game into a second overtime. There, the Bullets' upset bid starts to fade as things begin to go the Celtics' way. Washington has given it everything it has, but the Celtics always seem to have just a little more as Robert Parrish seals their victory. It has been a grueling physical series, but when it is all over, there are no hard feelings. These men understand that the playoffs are a little different. Nothing personal, but there's no tomorrow for the losers. And the winners, the champion Celtics, they know they've been in a dogfight and are lucky to have survived in 5. Their next opponent in the Eastern Conference Finals, Philadelphia, wants more than the NBA title. They'll want revenge. Out west in Los Angeles, opening night for the Laker playoff season is naturally a gala affair. This is where the entertainment industry comes to be entertained. Last year's Lakers show closed early, but this year Laker fans feel the chances of a championship are a lot stronger.
I'll tell you what, this is a cinch. No problem. The way those guys are playing, he says Philadelphia doesn't have a chance. Boston, forget it. Not too bad, huh? Thanks a lot.
The Lakers were reigning champions last year when Magic Johnson returned after a midseason knee injury. But the team had trouble readjusting and was eliminated by the Houston Rockets. At this time last year, the Lakers were packing for summer. Things were pretty quiet in the Laker locker room. But how quickly time can change a place and a team. A year later, these players have regained their confidence and understanding of one another. The old chemistry and the magic are back. Much of that has to do with new coach Pat Riley, who has let the reins out on this collection of racehorse basketball players. And they've been made even more explosive by the addition of wandering scoring star Bob McAdoo. Tonight, against the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference semifinals, the Lakers begin their quest to regain the title. But the lessons of last year's dethroning are not lost on this team. Jamal Wilkes explains.
There's a lot of frustration because the year before we had experienced and tasted that dream of an NBA championship, and it had a fantasy-like quality to it. But for, reasons, the grim realities of the NBA, it just doesn't happen. But I think that experience in '81 made us stronger as a group and as a unit and as a team.
And so a little older, and they hope a lot wiser, the Lakers take the stage for Scene 1, their 1982 playoff debut. From the start, their performance is a hit. Playing to a packed house, the Lakers win their first 2 at home. Los Angeles, however, is a tough town to play. The people in this audience have paid their share of show business dues and had their share of poor reviews. But they do know a good show when they see one. This game features a magic act. And of course, every magician has his assistants and his assists. Against Phoenix, Johnson performs his now you see it, now you don't tricks, averaging 11 assists, 12 rebounds, and 20 points per game as he leads Los Angeles to a 4-game sweep. For Johnson, a championship may have special meaning. Although no specific blame fell on his shoulders, much attention was focused on him when the Lakers failed last year and struggled in the early part of this season. Make no mistake, Los Angeles loves Magic Johnson, and he's still the same old Magic. But this year, he is perhaps a little less naive, the glint in his eye a little more determined as he sets his sights on an NBA title, and he doesn't intend to let the Magic show stop here.
Things just seem to happen for us. Click, click, click. Just keeps going.
Scene 2, enter the San Antonio Spurs for a run-and-gun showdown in the Western Conference Finals. In the semifinals, the Spurs won with surprising ease, eliminating the Seattle Supersonics in 5. One of the feature attractions of this Laker performance is sixth man Michael Cooper. When he's on the court, the Laker fast break gets even faster. Cooper is part of what Riley affectionately refers to as his Greyhounds, an appropriate name for a team with such acceleration and blowout potential.
We practice very hard at that every day, so they're conditioned to run. And it will happen if you will maintain the constants of the game. Those being defensive pressure, those being defensive rebounding, and those being the outlet pass. And if you're doing all three of those well, then we're going to run.
The Lakers were so fast, they put the Spurs in the past tense before they knew it. They were gone in 4. They'd whip them good. In recording unprecedented back-to-back 4-game sweeps, the Lakers and their organization have proven 2 things: that players must believe in each other, and that management must believe in its players. That harmony and loyalty is the best road to victory.
I think it is, and I think that's the only way you build winners, is to develop loyalty amongst the players with the organization, knowing that they're going to stay, not to drastically change your lineups and your roster when you lose a championship or the effort to get one, and to treat it as a business, because it is a business. If it is successful every year, I think if you really have the presence of mind as a club and management, that, you know, you can be successful without winning it all, and let's not change everything. I think that's been the staple for Philadelphia. They've been the most successful team the last 5 years in the league, and they have been there, so it's been a great business.
In Los Angeles, basketball has been a good business.
The Laker Girls.
And a great show. Bring on the finale. This show's got legs. But in Philly, business is not quite as good. Their one-loss record is great, but their attendance record is not. They haven't won a title since Coach Billy Cunningham was a rookie with the '67 club. Philly can be a tough town to please, and the local press can be painfully pointed in its criticism. The Sixers have had their share of critics, especially after last year's disaster against Boston, dropping a 3-1 lead in the Eastern Conference Final. But tonight, the Sixers are on the verge of eliminating Milwaukee in their Eastern Conference semifinals and earning another shot at the champion Celtics. the Sixers have been flirting with a championship since 1976. But despite the success of their franchise, the Sixers haven't won the big one.
Brewery in San Francisco. And it is big league, major league.
Still, if the Sixers have the enduring memory of last year's Boston nightmare, they also have a sympathetic national following. That's because they have the undisputed class act of basketball, Dr. J, Julius Erving.
Hope that's Seattle ring.
Erving wasn't Philly's only superstar when Billy Cunningham took over coaching duties in 1977. But Cunningham made it quite clear that this would be Doc's team.
You know, when we made some trades earlier, around 4 years ago, the decision was that we couldn't have several leaders on the team. And when you have a personality such as Julius Erving, who is a leader by example on the court as well as off the court, it was an easy decision to make. We have a very open relationship. I think that when we do things, we do them constructive with each other, and we have a common goal.
Well, I think, first of all, we understand one another. And that's existed for a long time. And it's just gotten better as the years have transpired. Billy calling it Doc's team, I think, is a total compliment. I think he basically does that because you need some type of consistent force to have a successful operation. That's where our relationship comes in. You know, Billy is my biggest booster and wants me to be that consistent force.
At times, their open relationship has been mistaken for animosity. It is, in fact, a unique working arrangement in which both men shoulder Philly's failures personally and both understand that in pursuit of their common goal, Cunningham has placed enormous responsibility on Erving. Against Milwaukee, Erving is his spectacularly dependable self, and the Sixers eliminate the Bucks in 6. Philadelphia is Boston bound to confront the ghosts of their past.
What's happening tonight? You think, well, why does God arrange these situations like he did last year? Why are you back in the same situation as last time?
This chapel service is held before many Celtics home games, not just because they are, once again, down 3-1 to the 76ers in this friendly but fervent and historic rivalry. But there could be some divine hand at work when history repeats itself this way. Celtics fans have journeyed to this hoop cathedral for years to witness miracles like last year's Boston comeback from a 3-1 deficit.
For the chance to participate.
So if Celtic prayers tonight contain a more urgent note, it is entirely understandable.
You guys are the best. Let's go, guys.
Their problem is compounded by the loss of playmaker Tiny Archibald. In Game 3, he dislocated his left shoulder, and as Coach Fitch explained, when the band loses its lead horn player, the music is going to sound a little different. But the sound tonight from the 75th consecutive Garden sellout, a full 3-minute standing ovation, must be music to the Celtics' ears. As if the crowd is saying, remember last year's Sixers, 3-1? Now we've got you right where we want you. The Celtics had ended Game 1 early with a relentless fast break assault, and tonight, in similar fashion, they let it be known that this series isn't over yet. One of the keys to stopping the Sixers is stopping Andrew Toney. He scored 39 points in Game 4, but this evening Toney shoots an unusually meager 6 for 20. Larry Bird grabs 20 rebounds for the 3rd time in his short playoff career, and Danny Ainge settles into his relief role as playmaker. This game ended early as the Celtics, on a 7 for 8 shooting performance from Robert Parrish, rolled to a 20-point halftime lead. Could the improbable, the unthinkable happen again? Do the Sixers have some date with destiny? By By the middle of the third quarter, the game is over. The Sixers are a beaten team, and there is little doubt the Celtics have returned to form. The roars that fill the Garden echo last year's miracle. See you Sunday, see you Sunday. A foreboding incantation summoning the ghosts of Celtics past, declaring that the series would not end in Philadelphia on Friday and that there would be a Game 7 Sunday in Boston.
I don't really give a damn what their mental state is. I'm more interested in coaching my team. I know Billy will have his ready. He always does, and I'm going to try and have mine ready. But
welcome to the Spectrum for the 1982 NBA
Selling pretzels is good money when there's a sellout crowd at the Spectrum. But the newspapers warn that if Philly doesn't win tonight, it may be the last sellout crowd this franchise sees. But from the start, it looks as if there isn't much to worry about as the Sixers run to a 15-point lead. It appears as if the good doctor would finally dispatch Boston with one mighty stroke and lay to rest all the talk about a Boston jinx and the Kelly Green specter of the ghosts of Celtics past. But 15 points can disappear in the blink of an eye in the NBA, and slowly but surely momentum is shifting. Things start rolling the Celtics way. By the end of the third quarter, the crowd is considerably quieter, watching the Celtics peck away at a dwindling Sixers lead. With frightening similarity to last year's infamous nosedive, the Sixers can manage only 27 second-half points, the lowest total for any NBA playoffs since the introduction of the 24-second clock. And the Celtics are showing their true bloodlines and their depth. In the fourth quarter, Boston pounds out a 23-9 rebounding advantage. When Kevin McHale drops in his 17th point with 7:58 remaining, the Celtics charge past the Sixers and into the lead. There is no looking back. As far as the fans of Philadelphia are concerned, the series is over as well. According to one Philadelphia newspaper, Boston need only mail in the score for Game 7. In short, they conclude the fans have had enough. The Sixers are alone now. In Philadelphia's eyes, they have choked again.
Players do not choke. At least players on our team, you know, they go up to shoot the basketball, try to do the right things. Some days it works, some days it doesn't.
For the Sixers, Billy Cunningham, the Celtics, and Bill Fitch, it is as simple as that. The shifting fortunes of basketball are determined on the court, not by those vague, cliched explanations which would fill tomorrow's papers. A playoff jinx, a Celtics ghost, shifting momentum, a mental edge.
Mental edge. It's a 3-3 series, and we're going home. We come over here and won back the home court advantage and won the opportunity to try and hang on to what's ours.
Gentlemen, I guess the coach would like to get back to his team. We'll ask Billy Cunningham to come in. Coach Cunningham, fellas. Fire away.
Coach, this is last year all over again. Can the Sixers come back this time?
I'm so tired of hearing about last year, I can't tell you.
Nothing is over until it is over. But nobody gave the Sixers a chance of escaping their doomed destiny. Almost everyone thinks Game 7's outcome is a foregone conclusion. Few teams have been maligned as harshly by both fans and press as the Sixers after Game 6. So it really doesn't matter that the decisive game will be played in Boston. They were outcasts in their own city. Said one Sixer, "We had lost the respect of our fans, our owner, the press, everybody. We have nothing left to lose." From the opening tip, the Sixers played tough, determined, angry basketball. But this isn't one of their runaway roller coaster rides, a big lead squandered in the fourth quarter. Displaying poise and composure, the Sixers dominate the Celtics. After the half, they never trail. And when Julius Erving calmly swishes this 20-footer, it becomes apparent that this year the Celtics will not repeat as champions, that today the Sixers are not going to be denied. And then something unique happens. From the Boston crowd rolling down through the Garden comes a chant washing away doubt, expressing confidence and support. Beat LA, beat LA. It is absolution for a team which hours earlier had felt so completely abandoned. With each booming echo, the demons of the past are being purged. At last, the ghosts are gone.
One sure thing, when the team reaches this point in the season, they don't get here without having some character, without being able to overcome adversity. There was a lot of negative things written about us, not only about the game itself, but about the personalities, and I thought they got a little too personal, and we were only concerned with ourselves to prove something to ourselves that we had the ability to go out and perform in the Boston Gardens.
Never say die. You know, that, if nothing else, represents Billy Cunningham, because he's a coach who will never say die.
In victory, Cunningham acknowledges the Garden chant, which had raised this rivalry to an extraordinary level.
That truly showed me a great deal of class. And as competitive as the two teams are, it surely made us feel good, and that's what it's all about, the competition. The only thing I'm going to say is I'm just ecstatic for the 12 guys in there because we stuck together, because everyone else had buried us, and I'm just proud of them, period. Goodbye.
Obviously, Grover Washington Jr. is poking a little fun with his choice of melody, but who is sorry now, Grover? The vanquished Celtics or the Philadelphia fans who doubted their team? One thing's certain, the fans have changed their tune.
She's not even going to sell her ticket for $100. I know she's
I sell mine for $100.
I would too, but she's going all the way.
Season ticket holder. Oh, yeah. L.A. in 5. Going to take L.A. in 5.
Yeah, we know a lot of. We think it's going to be the Sixers in 6. In 5. 6. You told me 5. I think 6. 5. No, Sixers in 6, definitely. I say 5.
I hope they win the NBA championship.
What do you think before Sunday?
I thought they was going to lose Sunday.
What do you think now?
They ain't say nothing now. They won.
Have Cunningham and the Sixers finally silenced the critics?
For a period of time. You know, it's, what did you do for me today?
What Billy Cunningham and the Sixers have done for themselves is remove the monkey from their backs. In the few days since they turned a burial in Boston into a resurrection, the Sixers have become sentimental favorites, not just in Philly, but all over the country. America loves to root for an underdog, and against the Lakers, whose jet-powered fast break looks unstoppable, the Sixers are definite underdogs. Grover Washington's gentle anthem rendition is like a lull before the gathering storm. The Spectrum is a pressurized launching pad. For Philly fans are nothing if not vocal, and they know how to give their team a lift. So hold on to your seats. This series promises to be explosive, and it's almost time for blastoff. Traditionally, championship play is cautious and deliberate, but not tonight. These two teams do everything in a hurry. The running game, an all-out, wide-open, furious style of play, an express train offense that has carried both teams to this championship round. And nothing is more exciting to watch than the fast break, what has come to be known in the ever more sophisticated language of tactical basketball as the transition game. The transition game is what happens when the ball changes hands, whether it be by rebound, steal, or score. The idea is run, 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 a race to the basket.
Hey, come on.
The key to a successful running game is to get yours going before they can get theirs going. Momentum is tough to reverse, and for 2.5 quarters, the Sixers are an unstoppable force, building a 15-point lead early in the third quarter. The Lakers are curiously out of sync. They hadn't played a game in 12 days, and perhaps the layoff had affected them. There was some speculation that it might take them a game to regain their racehorse form. In fact, it takes them half a game. What happens then is one of the most phenomenal turnarounds in playoff history. In just 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the third quarter, the Lakers rip off a 23-6 scoring streak. The Sixers are completely stunned, but Pat Riley had witnessed these explosions before.
You know, we're a team of spurts, and we've proven that throughout the season. We've proven it throughout the playoffs, that somewhere, if it's not in the first quarter or the second quarter or the third quarter, we will have a run. And, you know, the game does break down into skirmishes. And, you know, who wins the most skirmishes is going to win the game, and we won the third quarter scrimmage.
One of the things that triggers the Lakers' fast break offense is their trap defense. The idea behind the trap is not to steal the ball every time, but to make the offense hurry its shot and force the tempo, thus creating a transition game. And that's just what the Lakers continue to do. By the end of the third quarter, the Lakers have the lead. Against the trap, the Sixers are helpless.
I think the Sixers, if you let them get to their spots, they're very difficult to guard. I think if you put them in an open court situation and try to trap as much as you can, at least you get them into a freelance game. I know they're a great freelance team, but we are too.
When the smoke from the Lakers' exhausts finally clears, they have run off an unbelievable 40-9 scoring streak and lead the Sixers by 16, a 31-point swing in only 10 minutes. The spectrum is considerably quieter now, dazed by the awesome Lakers offense. But Cunningham knows that, in fact, the Lakers' trap defense has done the damage. It's a defense he thinks is illegal. And if the Sixers are to salvage a split in Philadelphia, he knows he must prove it.
All right, all set, gentlemen. Ball goes up high now, high.
Game 2 is going to be a long one for referee Darryl Garrettson. When this basketball drag race is over, if his legs don't hurt, his ears are sure to. That's because he is the pivotal figure in this sideline strategy battle going on between Riley and Cunningham. Riley had the best of it in round 1 when he surprised the Sixers with the trap defense that triggered their awesome fast break. And early in game 2, the Lakers continue to run their traps. The way the Sixers were blown out in game 1, one might think there's little a coach can do. But after studying game 1, Cunningham makes some adjustments. His problem is plain: slow down the Lakers' fast break. That means either coping with the Laker trap or exposing it as an illegal defense. And that's where Darryl Garrettson comes in. Cunningham had planted the idea of an illegal defense even before the start of game 2, and now he hammers away at the officials. This sight, this endless argument, has been going on as long as there have been coaches and referees. It has become part of the ritual of sports. And the particular nature of officiating basketball, a game that requires the referee to rule more frequently than his diamond or gridiron counterpart, often makes the dialogue between coach and official unceasing. Besides, the ref is always within earshot. But the line between persuasion and provocation is a fine one, and Cunningham knows that he may need the ref's good favor at some critical juncture later on in the game. In the meantime, he has devised a strategy for beating the trap. The code word is fist.
My feeling against any type of defense like that is that they want to force the tempo as much as they can to get themselves going up and down the court. And if you show some patience, you can have a good open shot almost every time.
Cunningham's strategy gives the Sixers a 10-point second quarter lead. But 10 points against an explosive Lakers team is nothing. And so he continues to protest that their trap is illegal. If he can't convince Garretson, he will show him. By bringing Bobby and Caldwell Jones outside offensively, Cunningham forces L.A. to play them man-to-man. When the Lakers fail to match up, the zone becomes obvious.
Who's back and don't play it? That's an illegal defense. Who? McAdoo. That's an illegal defense on Los Angeles.
After that, the Lakers play their traps with considerably less enthusiasm, and the Sixers fashion a 12-point second quarter lead. But when Darryl Dawkins picks up his third personal foul, and Caldwell Jones then follows with his third, the Sixers' margin begins to look fragile. Enter Earl Curitan, one of several unsung Philly bench heroes who keeps the Sixers on top during the third quarter. Curitan has 5 rebounds and 6 third-quarter points, and his tip at the buzzer sends the Sixers to their huddle with a 12-point lead. But the fourth quarter is the longest one in this game, and Cunningham is still expecting the lightning Laker fast break to make one final run, especially when Riley starts 2 more of his Greyhounds, Cooper and McAdoo. But as Cunningham said later, you only have to get hit in the head once. And when a small Lakers spurt cuts the margin to 8 and starts looking like Game 1's ominous avalanche, Cunningham quickly calls time. With 6:17 remaining, it is, as they say in the NBA, money time. And when it's money time, Philly looks to one person, Julius Erving. With the game on the line, Erving takes this rebound coast to coast, sparking the Sixers to 6 unanswered points. Julius Erving is capable of winning basketball games all by himself. And tonight, as he's done time after time, Dr. J takes Philadelphia's fate in his own hands and delivers Los Angeles its first playoff loss. The cheers do not stop for the rest of the game as Philadelphians express their thanks for the efforts of this team, this man, and this man as well. He'd had a great game, too. Back in Los Angeles for Game 3, the jet set is beautifully turned out for this glamorous event. So many beautiful faces might distract another man, but not Pat Riley, not after the loss in Game 2. Now it is his move, his turn to make some adjustments.
We got some minor adjustments that we made on defense, but it was most of all directing our energies at the area that I think is the most important in this series, and that's the rebounding department.
Having the ball is the most important thing, because the team that gets it gets its game going first. You can't run if you haven't got the ball. That's what makes rebounding so important, and that's why these men do what they have to get the ball. On the boards is where the game is won. Under the boards is where the game is toughest. This is where basketball really becomes a contact sport. It's no place for the player unschooled in its methods, the subtle shove given at the right moment, or the not-so-subtle blow from the arms and elbows. As bodies crash together, people can get hurt. Less than 5 minutes into the game, Magic Johnson is knocked to the floor, momentarily stunned. Julius Erving has a broken dental bridge. And forward Kurt Rambis has a cut over his eye that will require stitches. Rambis, Clark Kent to his teammates, is a new face in the NBA. But when he replaced injured Mitch Kupchak in the starting lineup, Laker fans began to sit up and take notice of the job he was doing on the board. His is the fairy tale story about the sub who comes off the bench to earn a starting role. Riley, who was once a bench warmer on the Lakers himself, can identify with this man's effort.
Just a player that had an opportunity to do something and took advantage of the opportunity. Now, there are a number of people that had the same opportunity in training camp, had the same opportunity to come off the bench and start for the Lakers after Mitch got hurt, and he's the one that won. That's what it comes down to. You sit over there and you watch and you wait patiently and you keep doing what the coach wants and you keep reading what the team needs. That's the reality of being a reserve. And when you get your opportunity, this is my chance. What do I do with it? Well, he took that chance and he made the most of it, and now he is starting for a team that's playing for the World Championships.
What Rambis gives the Lakers is tough to put a value on. There's no place for effort on the stat sheet. But in Game 3, Rambis is an instrumental figure in setting a tone of aggressiveness, which by the middle of the third quarter has given the Lakers a 25-point advantage.
I enjoy playing, and I enjoy playing in the playoffs. Anytime you're in a competitive situation and you're a competitor, it brings out the best in you.
These playoffs have really brought the best out in Norm Nixon. He is the Lakers' leading playoff scorer, and in the second half of Game 3, Nixon takes over. This year, Nixon is no longer referred to as overlooked or underrated. He is part of a select company of speedy point guards, men like Mo Cheeks, Gus Williams, and Tiny Archibald, and he may be the quickest of the quick. His agile speed and scoring ability may be more apparent this year because Riley's run-and-gun system showcases his ability for anticipating the break. Whenever Philadelphia misses a shot, he is already headed for the Laker basket. Nixon runs to a 21-point second-half performance, and the Laker lead never falls below 15. When Cunningham remarked after the game they were just a little quicker in everything they did, maybe he was thinking about Norm Nixon. Game 3 was yet another blowout. These teams can't seem to do anything else to each other. It is the essence of sportsmanship that athletes can do so much physical damage to one another in the course of a game, then express the concern that they do for each other once the game is over, which is exactly what is happening here before Game 4. Magic, knocked to the floor and dazed during Game 3, is inquiring about Dr. J's broken dental bridge. Julius, in turn, is making sure Rambis's cut eye is okay. Then once the game starts, it's back to the fray, and the struggle begins all over again. Game 3 was an LA fast break blitz, but tonight the Sixers have more success getting back and stopping the Laker break. The Lakers have more than a fast break in their offensive arsenal, though. Their half-court game is also pretty good. In a word, Kareem. When Abdul-Jabbar gets to his spot, the master of the sky hook is virtually unstoppable. Abdul-Jabbar, the dean of NBA centers, is 35 now, but he shows no signs of letting up. His 14 first-half points give the Lakers a double-figure cushion. Kareem may not single-handedly carry his team to the playoffs every year as he once did, but he is still the game's most dominating player. Despite his singular status, Kareem has, in his own quiet way, avoided the limelight. His dignified court presence reflects that quiet reserve. But behind this unemotional mask, there is a cool and calculating method.
I find that if I try to keep an emotional level that is consistent and balanced and use my brain rather than my emotions, it benefits my game better.
Even if Kareem's emotion is not so apparent, his focused intensity is. His 21 points through 3 quarters gives LA an 18-point bulge. Another player who shares Kareem's mental approach is Jamal Wilkes. Like his teammate, Jamal's face seldom reveals the emotion behind it.
Yeah, that's something that I've worked on throughout the years since I was a kid and first started playing this game. I think I learned at a young age that if I didn't get upset or distracted by other things around me, that I could get more out of myself as a player. And I'm not always as cool as I look out there, believe me.
The only thing that isn't cool about Jamal in Game 4 is his hot hand. His best game of the series, 24 points, helps put the Lakers within one victory of the championship. The Sixers, down 3-1, are in a hole no team in championship play has ever climbed out of. If it is the mental game, the concentration on winning that gets you a crown, then keeping cool even in the most desperate situations is essential. It takes a special kind of mental discipline, the kind that separates the stars from the superstars.
You know, I try to stay off of a roller coaster, and I consciously try to do that because, you know, you just can't let your heart travel to all the cities that your mind and your body have to go to.
We've been in this position the opposite way, being up 3-1, and we know that you got to win 4 games, and we're looking forward to coming back to LA.
Many a tear has to fall, but it's all.
The pregame atmosphere in the Spectrum for Game 5 doesn't contain the note of optimism Billy Cunningham had expressed after Game 4. But if this wistful refrain from the Spectrum House Band is meant to comfort Cunningham, he and the Sixers are far from giving up.
You have words with him.
It's true, the Sixers' future does not look so bright. They are down 4 early in the third quarter. Irving has suffered through a 2-for-10 first half. But to echo some words from the Sixers' recent past, they didn't get here without some character. Now in their 20th playoff game, as weary as they must be, the Sixers call upon some of that character, some emotional reserve, and make a last stand. Tough, aggressive defense has kept Philly in this game, has thus far neutralized the Lakers' explosive potential. When Mo Cheeks picks off an errant pass, his breakaway dunk signals the first shot in a little Sixers skirmish of their own. In fact, it is the flip side of the 40-9 number LA had played for Philly in Game 1. When Andrew Toney gives Philly its first lead of the second half, this time the band knows just what to play.
Look at here. This place is jumping. It's really jumping. The Sixers got us all real high. I say it's really jumping. Big D is thumping. BJ is bumping. When Dr. J does things his way, I mean it's really jumping.
The halftime show comes by, the fans just might forget their manners. They'll clap their hands, stomp the stands,
and go bananas. This place is jumping. It's really jumping. Sixers got us all real high. I say it's really jumping. Dealing, stealing, lightning quick fast breaks, thunder slams and two-hand jams and a couple of in your face. The Spectrum is the place. This place is jumping.
The third quarter buzzer only briefly saves the Lakers from the Sixers' charge. In the fourth quarter, the Laker defense is completely overrun. And when the massacre is over, Philadelphia has delivered LA its worst playoff loss ever, a 33-point blowout. Kareem has scored just 6 points, and the Laker lead, now 3-2, looks a lot less secure. On the whole, the Lakers would rather be in Los Angeles.
Nobody said that this was going to be easy, and I really thought the game was a great game until it was about 68-68, something like this, 70-68, and then it just seemed like it was a tidal wave from that point on. And Philadelphia was very, very, very aggressive, and that was the difference in the game. That's what it's all about. Any questions?
California is normally laid back, but that's not the way it is tonight as we get set for Game 6, where either the Lakers will capture the World Championship or the Sixers will have fought brought back once again to force a 7th and deciding game on Thursday. We feel that the only salvation for the Sixers is to have a super game from a superstar, Dr. Julius Erving. He is known around the world for his heroics, and we think that Julius Erving is the man that Philadelphia will have to rely upon.
In the history of sport, there have been few athletes whose singular stature goes beyond their athletic accomplishments. Individuals of mythical proportion: Babe Ruth, Muhammad Ali, Pele. Historically, it may be too soon to place Julius Erving in this special company. But to his fans, Dr. J is a living legend. In fact, in much the same way Jackie Robinson's heroic efforts created baseball fans in the late 40s, Julius Erving's style and grace has created basketball fans across the country. That's why it's not so surprising to hear remarks like these before Game 6, even in Los Angeles.
I think the Lakers are probably the best team around, but I'm rooting for Dr. J.
I like him. I think he's a really classy player. I would like to see the Sixers win just for his benefit alone.
Dr. J deserves to be a world champion more than any athlete in the world.
Julius Erving is the best forward I've ever seen play the game of basketball.
Julius Erving's awesome presence has graced professional basketball for 11 years now, 6 in the NBA. Many stylish performers have entertained NBA fans, but Julius is in a class by himself. This is Erving's 3rd appearance in an NBA World Championship Series. In this league, getting to the finals, even once, is tough enough. At 32, Dr. J may not have many chances left. Cunningham, who played until he was 34, knows what makes aging veterans like Erving and Abdul-Jabbar continue to be great.
You know, they have this great inner drive. I think that's why they're still playing. You know, it's not the physical things that go in players when they reach a certain age. It's the mental aspect of the game that's the toughest part, being able to get yourself prepared to play and still having that love and enjoyment of playing.
In Game 6, Los Angeles once again breaks quickly from the gate to seize control. Early in the 3rd quarter, L.A. leads by 9, thanks to Jamal Wilkes' 17 first-half points. But Philadelphia hangs tough. Led by Dr. J, the Sixers go on a 20-12 scoring streak that brings Philly 1 basket from the lead, a lead the Sixers haven't enjoyed in 3 Forum appearances. With 4:52 remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Sixers trail by 1 when Jamal Wilkes misses this jumper. Maurice Cheeks' floor-length alley-ooper to Dr. J looks like a sure 2 points and the lead. But Bob McAdoo races the length of the floor to make a crucial block. The resulting Kareem dunk slows the Sixer momentum considerably. It is a brief but critical skirmish, a turning point, and the player who has made it possible is Bob McAdoo. When the season started, McAdoo wasn't on any NBA team's roster. Not because he was no longer a great offensive player, he still had his shooting touch, but he also had acquired the reputation of a player who couldn't play for a winner. When the Lakers picked him up in midseason, they weren't sure if it was McAdoo or McAdoo. And what was McAdoo's reaction to this stroke of good fortune?
It's something that I never thought would ever happen in my career. Going to a first-place team, a winning team, class organization, because I've been sent to last-place teams ever since I was drafted, and you know, I just couldn't believe it. At this time in my career, I finally got a chance to be on the championship team.
McAdoo's best performance of the series, 16 points and 9 rebounds, helped stretch the Lakers' lead back to 11 with only 7:07 remaining in the game. With just a half a quarter between them and summer vacation, the Sixers launch one last attempt at returning the series to Philadelphia. Tony's 26th point caps a 9-3 Sixers streak, and the Laker lead is cut to 5.
5 more minutes left.
Tony once again demonstrates his poise in the clutch, cutting the margin to 3. In the 3:54 remaining, Pat Riley will live several lifetimes. Norm Nixon doesn't need to be told whose number to call. When the Lakers need a basket, there's only one: Kareem. Kareem is off. Jamal comes up with a big rebound. But he can't convert, and still the Sixers can't control the defensive board. When McAdoo finally secures the rebound and puts a new 24 on the shot clock, there's still only one play to call. With game momentum hanging in the balance, Kareem's second effort finally drops through. Fouled on the play, his free throw gives LA a much more comfortable 6-point cushion. And when Jamal's breakaway gives the Lakers a little insurance, the margin is 8. And the 76ers will not threaten again. The Lakers are about to win their second title in 3 years. The Sixers, despite another valiant effort, are about to become second best for the third time in 6 years. Magic Johnson's all-round play earns him MVP honors as befits the team effort which won this championship.
Los Angeles Lakers 114. The Philadelphia 76ers.
For the Lakers, this is sweet and joyful redemption. They had waited 2 years to prove they were still the best in the world. Number 1 again.
We have a new champion. We haven't had a repeat since '69, and the Lakers have won 2 of the last 3. So, Larry, make the presentation to Jerry Buss here in a big day.
I'm going to do that, but first I think we all will join together in crediting the 76ers. This was a great series. They were very competitive, and it was a very intense series all the way. And as far as the champions are concerned, the world champions, I want to congratulate the entire Lakers team, Captain Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I think it's pride. Pride is definitely why we're out there at this point. The victory is basically an intangible thing that motivates you, and that's why we're out there.
You're only, just like in Hollywood, you're only as good as the last movie you make, only as good as the last basketball game that we win. And it certainly would make the offseason a lot nicer.
Created by Tiffany, and let me lift it now, Jerry, and hand it to you with our congratulations.
Larry, I'm going to accept this trophy on behalf of the entire team, and of course the very wonderful coaching staff who had a lot of adversity this year and somehow still brought it home. But most of all, I want to say thank you, and I'm going to accept this trophy also to the fans of the Lakers. I know there are millions and millions and millions of fans who watch this game tonight, and wherever you are, I want you to know the team won it for you, the fans. Thank you very much.